What do you think would happen if some of the strongest One Piece characters suddenly had devil fruits? Let's say they did. What fruit would suit each character best? And what would be the effect on their abilities? Well, to find out, you'd have to stick around because that's our focus in today's video. The first character we'll be looking at is the Pirate King, Gold Roger, owner of the legendary One Piece treasure. Gold Roger is already incredibly powerful with some of the best battle records since it's not established that he's ever been defeated. Regardless, let's see just how much more powerful he can get if he ate a devil fruit. Out of the many devil fruits out there, two appear to be the best fit for the Pirate King. First is the mythical Gomu Gomu no Mi, also known as Hito Hito no Mi. The Zoan devil fruit has ties to Luffy and it is also very notorious because of the threat it poses. So, what makes it a good fit for Roger? When you consider that throughout the show, Luffy and Rogers appear to have many similarities, it makes sense to suggest that they'd possess the same devil fruit. Eating the fruit would grant Roger reality warping abilities just like Luffy, making him an even more formidable character. Another fruit that would probably suit Roger is the one his son ate, the Mera Mera no Mi. Over time, Roger has proved to be one of the most clever characters, so it's safe to imagine that he would use the powers of this devil fruit more unconventionally. That being said, he would use the powers on his legendary sword to shoot flaming range attacks at opponents. The powers from the fruit would also grant him the ability to fly using the flames on his feet as a rocket boost. Sure, it seems like a stretch, but Rogers is one of the most ingenious characters, so it's not that far-fetched to imagine he would use the powers in this manner. Nevertheless, after analyzing the two fruits, which would be best suited to Rogers? We'll have to go with the Gomu Gomu no Mi in this case because it is more practical and also because of its link with Luffy. The next character we'll be looking at is the vice captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, Roronoa Zoro, who is a master swordsman. Because of his unique fighting style which involves wielding 3 katanas at once, with one of them in his mouth, the Supa Supa no Mi, Mr. One's fruit seems to be the perfect choice. The fruit would allow Zoro to create blades from different parts of his body, which could be very useful if he ever lost his sword or needed some extra weaponry. Unfortunately, these blades would be a lot weaker than his normal swords, so this fruit isn't exactly a perfect fit. However, there is a rare fruit that most people don't even know about it. It's so rare that it's unnamed but wielded by Onigumo, the Marine Vice Admiral. So, why are we bringing up this devil fruit? That's because it has a spider zone which grants the user 6 more arms. This means that if Zoro consumed it, he would have 6 extra arms which allows him to use more swords in combat and eventually he would add more legendary swords to his collection. Although some might say he can already do this with Ashina, in this case, he wouldn't drain as much energy. Speaking of Zoro, let's move on to the next character who is pretty much Zoro's arch-nemesis, the world's famous pirate, Dracula Mihawk. Mihawk is the strongest swordsman in the One Piece universe who wields one of the 12 supreme swords. This gigantic sword he possesses is named Yoro. Due to Mihawk's obvious resemblance to the vampire Dracula, it's okay to suggest that Maria's devil fruit Kage Kage no Mi is an ideal fit. This Paramecia-type devil fruit gives the user the ability to control and manifest the shadows of living creatures as physical forms. With this power, the already overpowered Mihawk would be able to capture the shadows of anyone he defeats, which is pretty vampire-like if you ask me. However, there's another rare fruit that might even be a better fit for Mihawk, and it's called Bato Bato no Mi, which is a vampire model fruit. Although it hasn't been depicted in the series, it exists in the video game and transforms whoever eats it into a vampire, giving them the power to drain the life out of their opponents. Clearly, this is the best fruit for the vampire-inspired character Mihawk. Next on the list is the legendary character Kozuki Oden, son of Wano, became one of the most powerful men in the One Piece universe thanks to his incredible sportsmanship and hockey abilities. Since Kozuki is already insanely powerful, Enel's devil fruit, Goro Goro no Mi is the first pick for him. The fruit would grant him the ability to transform into lightning and move at unbelievable speeds. However, Luffy did manage to beat Enel since he's immune to lightning, so which means that Kozuki wouldn't be invincible. So the next fruit that might be a better pick is the Inu Inu no Mi, which would give him the ability to transform into a wolf deity, the guardian of Wano, which makes sense since his royalty. Although the prospects of this fruit looks good on paper, the Goro Goro no Mi is truly better suited for Kozuki because they blend better with his samurai skills. We are halfway into the video, and now we are going to talk about the legendary captain of the red-haired pirates, Shanks. The red-haired pirate crew is an extremely powerful one, even though none of them possess a devil fruit. Now imagine the captain of such a team eating a fruit. The power-up would be tremendous. Considering his status, let's look at the fruit of his fellow emperor, Blackbeard's Yummy Yummy no Mi, a Logia-type devil fruit. Shanks is very dependent on his Haki abilities, and it's no surprise because he's mastered all forms of Haki, including the Conqueror Haki, which is the most powerful. That being established, this devil fruit would give him the power of darkness and the ability to neutralize all other Haki attacks, which makes it a very ideal feat for the red-haired pirate because it would make him practically invincible against any attack. Another fruit that would mix very well with Shanks' abilities is the Magu Magu no Mi, which belongs to the Marine Fleet Admiral Akainu. Even the creator of One Piece once said that the fruit has the most offensive capabilities. It would give Shanks the ability to turn into hot magma and also the ability to control this extremely hot energy. Just like Akainu did in the past, Shanks would be able to use the power to shoot cannonballs of magma at enemies. He could even create a magma blast with a single strike of his sword. With that being said, the Magu Magu no Mi Akainu possesses is the fruit that is best for Shanks. Speaking of Akainu, another Vice Admiral worth mentioning is the incredible Monkey the Garp. This guy is an absolute freak, possessing unbelievable physical strength that makes him one of the most formidable Marines ever. The heavyweight is also a master of Haki who doesn't use any weapons as he only relies on the brute force of his fists. So, which fruit would be the best for this ferocious boxer? Let's take a look at Whitebeard's devil fruit, the Gura Gura no Mi. This devil fruit releases quakes of insane magnitude and would surely work very well with Garp's heavy punches. Every punch would send waves that could shake an island if repeated continuously. Another fruit that could also match Garp's physical approach in combat would be the unknown Dalmatian Zone fruit belonging to another Vice Admiral Dalmatian. We are looking at this fruit because it's a zone fruit, and that means that it would immensely increase his strengths and magnify the effects of his already devastating punches. Another reason is because of Garp's liking for dogs, seeing that he always wears dog-themed clothing. It makes sense that his devil fruit should be related in some sort. However, the Gura Gura no Mi is more effective in this case, and it would be a better pick. Down to our final two characters, but before we talk about number 1, let's find out which devil fruit suits Ben Beckman best. This first mate of the red-haired pirate crew has been established to be extremely skilled in using Haki and can even infuse bullets with the power. It might seem strange at first, but the fruit that would probably work best with Ben's abilities is the Noro Noro no Mi devil fruit, which belongs to Foxy. This fruit would give him the ability to slow down any attack for a whole 30 seconds, ample time for him to attack any opponent. With his cheat skill combined with his Haki bullet skill, he'd be able to shoot any opponent with ease. Sure, Foxy is a certified trickster, but Ben's experience would allow him to use this insane trick much better than him. Now, last but not least, we are going to find out which devil fruit the legendary Dark King Rayleigh would use best. Silver's Rayleigh was the first mate of the legendary Pirate King's crew, which is arguably the strongest crew in the entire series. Rayleigh doesn't need a devil fruit, but one fruit that's just begging to be eaten by him is Blackbeard's Yummy Yummy no Mi. On paper, the fruit matches the Dark King perfectly because, as mentioned earlier, it would grant him the power of darkness and the ability to nullify all other devil fruit attacks while creating a black hole to engulf them. Remember how Rayleigh had a tough time battling Admiral Kizato? Well, with his Logia-type devil fruit, that wouldn't be the case because he would simply nullify his attacks and defeat him. With that being said, the Yummy Yummy no Mi devil fruit would be the best one for the Dark King.